I won't put up with it anymore. I'm taking you to court. Excuse me? What is this all of a sudden? And who even are you? Who am I? You don't remember me? You always were a joke of a woman. Nina! It's Nina, you idiot! Nina? Oh, that Nina? You mean the Nina who got her claws into my husband 2 years back? You really were a busy girl. How is Barry anyway? Did you two get married? Oh, please. Me and him broke up way back. Anyway, I'm sick and tired of your harassment, and I won't take it anymore. I'm taking you to court. What? My harassment? What do you mean by that? Didn't the whole thing of you stealing my husband off me happen 2 years ago? I thought we moved on. Why are you messaging me now when I haven't had anything to do with either of you for 2 years? Don't play dumb with me. Do you have any idea how much of a mess my life is because of the money you stole from me? My parents disown me, and there isn't a single person I can rely on. All because of you. I suffered so much these 2 years because of you. It's pretty disgraceful of you to claim that I stole money from you. All I did was claim the compensation I was legally entitled to when you had an affair with my husband. Whether that made your life difficult, or whether it led to your parents disowning you, isn't my problem in the slightest. It's all your fault. Even now, I can still hear your angry voice yelling at me during the divorce trial. It plays over and over in my head, and I can't even sleep at night because of you. You traumatized me. You caused me mental distress. That gives me more than enough grounds to take you to court. The problem is, Nina, I didn't shout at you at all during the trial, did I? The woman responsible for most of the yelling was your own mother, wasn't it, Nina? If that's your only court reason, wouldn't it make more sense to take your mom to court? That's not the only reason. I got dumped by my new boyfriend just the other day because you went running your mouth behind my back and told him I had an affair with your husband. It was you who told him, wasn't it? I know it was. I just know it. I don't know anything about that. How would I know what your boyfriend looks like or who he is? I don't even know where you live. I know virtually nothing about you these days. But I know you were involved somehow. You were probably pulling strings from behind the scenes. That's why I'm taking you to court. My life is ruined. I'm being eternally persecuted just because I had an affair with your husband that one time. Ugh, you'll pay for this. This is ridiculous. Do you have any evidence for this supposed harassment? I'm sure it'll start showing up as soon as I start digging. Want to know why? Because I hired a lawyer. A lawyer? Is there any lawyer crazy enough to give an absurd claim like this the time of day? Forget imaginary friends. You've got an imaginary lawyer? He's real. Just you wait. I'll have him contact you directly. You're going to regret this real soon. Add the QR code I'm about to send you to your contacts. Got it. At least if he's a lawyer, I should be able to have a reasonable discussion with him.
Hello. Is this the phone number of a Miss Lily James?
Hello? Yes, that's me. Are you Nina's lawyer?
That's right. My name is Mr. Jerry Williams, and I am, as you say, a lawyer. Nina, my client, requested I contacted you as her representative regarding the matter of the compensation she will be charging you due to the emotional distress you caused her.
But she was the one who had an affair with my husband in the first place. I requested compensation from her because she had an affair with my husband, which she paid me in full. If, as a result of that, she went bankrupt or got disowned by her parents, or got dumped by her new boyfriend when he found out about her past misdeeds, I mean, that has nothing to do with me, and is in fact entirely her own fault, is it not?
However, the problem here, Miss James, is that just because Nina may have had an affair with your husband does not justify you harassing her or taking her money. Nor does it justify you ruining her life, causing her undue emotional distress and anguish after all court matters had been settled. To speak frankly, I am of the opinion that you took things a little too far.
As I just told you, she stole my husband. They had an affair behind my back, you know? That gives me the legal right to make accusations in a court of law, and it gives me the right to sue for damages. These are my rights as a free citizen of this country. Whatever happened to her after that has nothing to do with me and isn't my problem.
That's where you're mistaken, Miss James. You are the cause of all of my client's problems. Nina is the one who suffers mental distress even to this day as a result of your actions. As such, as compensation for inflicting said mental distress, my client requests you pay her the sum of $30,000 in compensation.
$30,000? That's over twice the compensation I claimed from her.
Miss James, please think for a moment about the magnitude of the emotional distress you have inflicted upon my client. If you refuse to pay the compensation, we intend to take you to court.
Take me to court? You've got to be joking. What if the court rejects your compensation claim too?
In that case, we intend to invoke compulsory seizure. Are you familiar with the term compulsory seizure, Miss James? It refers to the process by which your funds and assets will be legally seized until the claimant receives the sum of the compensation owed. This includes things like your house, car, salary, as well as any other assets.
What? You're going to invoke compulsory seizure if the court rejects your claim? That's impossible.
It certainly is not impossible. If you force our hand, we are absolutely prepared to do it. Well then, what'll it be? Will you pay the compensation, or shall we go to court? Or would you rather have your funds and assets seized?
Well, you see, the thing is... You know what? I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore. I'm so sorry. I can't hold back my laughter anymore.
Excuse me?
Do you seriously think you can sue me for $30,000 just because Nina got dumped by her boyfriend? Not just that, but you actually think you can take me to court or have my assets seized if I don't pay up? Finally, you think you can invoke compulsory seizure after your case gets rejected by the court? Have you lost your mind? You know, it really is quite strange how unfamiliar with the law you seem to be despite being a lawyer. This is one of the most laughable things I've ever heard.
Excuse me? Are you insulting me, Lily? I mean, Miss James? I take it this means you're fine with us taking you to court. You should know that all necessary preparations have already been made.
Go ahead. Let's go to court. Show me what you've got.
Excuse me? Do you have any idea how serious the things you're saying right now are? This means entering a court of law, Miss James. A court of law!
Yeah, I know what it means. Actually, I think I'd rather it if we did go to court. It is my area of expertise, after all.
Huh? Your area of expertise?
Oh, do forgive me. I forgot to tell you. I'm a lawyer.
Huh?
Did you say something about taking me to court? I'm ready. Let's go. I'm eagerly waiting for you to file your claim.
No, hold on a minute. Are you lying? You're a lawyer?
That's right. I'm a lawyer by trade. Didn't Nina tell you?
What? You're lying, right? Seriously? No, you've got to be lying. There's no way.
It's the truth. In any case, you can always look me up on the American Bar Association website. Go on, give it a try. Lily James. My name will show up, I assure you.
What? You're seriously a lawyer? No way.
By the way, your name was Jerry Williams, wasn't it? Would you mind giving me your registration number?
No way. Excuse me? My registration number?
Your lawyer registration number? You are a lawyer after all, so you definitely have one, right? I think I'd like to look you up on the American Bar Association website. So if you don't mind giving me your full name, the legal firm you're registered with, and your lawyer registration number, that'd be perfect.
No. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm not obliged to share my personal information with you.
Personal information? Are you joking? It's publicly available information that anyone can see if they look you up.
No, but why do I have to give you it?
I never thought I'd see the day where I'd have to explain this kind of thing to a fellow lawyer. But to falsely claim to be or impersonate a lawyer is a criminal offense in violation of Article 72 of the Lawyers Act. You could be charged with fraud. In some cases, tens of thousands of dollars in fines are imposed.
Tens of thousands of dollars? Wait, you're serious?
Yes, I'm serious. So please, I'd really like to confirm whether you are in fact a lawyer. Because if you're just claiming to be one, you could be in a lot of trouble. Registration number, please.
Wait. No, I'm sorry. This has all been a mistake. All of it. I'm really sorry.
Excuse me? You're sorry? This has all been a mistake? What exactly do you mean by that? Mr. Williams?
I'm so sorry. I made a huge mistake. I'm not really a lawyer. I'm really, really sorry. Please forgive me.
I did kind of already know. Your whole act was full of holes from start to finish. So, that begs the question. Who are you really, and what do you want?
I'm Nina's little brother. I'm a college student. My sister asked me to pretend to be a lawyer and demand compensation for you under the threat of being taken to court. Because you've been harassing her. She said if I did it, she'd give me $750.
Ah, so that's why you're pretending to be a lawyer and demanding I pay her compensation. Did you know that what you were doing is illegal? Do you know that if I reported this to your college, it would go well beyond just a stern warning?
I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Please don't talk to my college, please! I'll never do anything like this again! Will you forgive me? I'm begging you!
Are both you and your sister complete morons? Words can't convey how disgusted I am with you. That said, you do seem remorseful. Which is why, if you promise that neither you or your sister will ever attempt to contact me again, I'm willing to overlook this little stunt you tried to pull today. Let me make one thing clear, though. I do not forgive you. If you were dealing with anyone but me, you'd have been reported to the police in a heartbeat and paid grave consequences. Both of you were in the process of committing a serious crime. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Thank you. I genuinely am sorry. I'm not just saying it. Thank you so much.
Make sure to pass the message on to your sister too, okay? Tell her, if anything like this ever happens again, someone will be taken to court, and it won't be me. Immediately after that, Nina messaged me with a desperate, groveling apology. But I just turned off my notifications and ignored her. The next day, I phoned her mom and explained to her what her children had attempted to do, after which they received a severe telling off. This time, I decided not to take them to court for impersonating a lawyer. But I made it abundantly clear that if they ever tried to pull anything like that again, they wouldn't be so lucky next time, and hefty fines would be paid. When I did, Nina's mom immediately began apologizing profusely. I'm so sorry for the trouble my kids caused you. This will never happen again, I promise. She was absolutely furious. So then, Nina and her brother were summoned to their parents' house, where they both suffered in the telling off of the century. They were then forced to remain at their parents' house, where they were surveilled closely until their mom and dad were satisfied that they were sorry and would change their ways. On top of that, to ensure they could never contact me again, both of their phones were confiscated and their contracts terminated. If they do ever foolishly decide to contact me in spite of that, I'm more than ready to take forceful legal measures and won't show an ounce of mercy. In the event that Nina does ever pick a fight with me again, I'm ready to use all the legal knowledge and resources at my disposal to put them in their place once and for all. Which is why I printed off all the chat logs from this pathetic little stunt of theirs and have them saved away on my computer, just in case that day comes. That said, to be honest, I don't think that even a grade A dimwit like Nina would be stupid enough to threaten to take me to court again.
Sarah's mom! Hey! Is now a good time?
Hey, Leo's mom. I'm on my lunch break right now, so it's fine.
Huh? Your lunch break? Does that mean you have a job?
That's right. I'm on my break at the minute.
Oh dear. I did have my suspicions, but it looks like I was right.
You were right? About what?
Your household is poor, right?
What? Why?
I mean, I get the impression your husband doesn't make much money.
Based on what?
He always goes to work in those worn-out clothes. And isn't a single room a bit of a cramped place to live for a family of 3? What's more, if your husband's on such a low salary that you have to work too, he must be a real good-for-nothing, no? How tragic!
No, we're not struggling to get by as much as you seem to think. I've been working at this company since before we got married.
Oh dear, I see. So even if you wanted to quit, you wouldn't be able to because of your scruffy good-for-nothing husband!
No, those clothes are a hobby of his.
Wearing worn-out clothes is a hobby?
He likes clothes with a damaged look.
That's actually a pretty good excuse. Lol, Oh well. I suppose that's what you get for choosing him in the first place.
Like I said, we're not struggling to get by as much as you seem to think.
But you can't make ends meet without the both of you working?
Both me and my husband are in positions of responsibility at our respective workplaces.
Maybe so, but a position of responsibility could mean all sorts of things. For example, being a factory manager at the biggest company in the region, like my husband. Oh, by the way, did you know he got promoted just as we moved here? It's hard to be a stay-at-home housewife in this day of age if your husband doesn't have a job like that, huh?
So was there a reason you contacted me?
Oopsie, forgive me. So you know how we only moved here a month ago? We were thinking of buying an extra cabinet and some shelves for the house. But we don't know where to get them. But of course, we can't go buy anything cheap.
In that case, how about checking out the furniture shop on the bypass? Naturally, they have domestically made stuff. But they also have trendy foreign furniture too. I recommend it.
Oh, really?
You should be able to get there on one stop from the bus station near your house.
You know a lot for someone so poor. Thanks! I didn't think it'd be nice if we went together, but that's probably no can do if you're at work.
Sorry, it's rush hour for us now. I can't clock off early without a good reason.
I see. Oh well, it can't be helped. I'm sure you could take every last hour you can get to scrape by whatever money you can.
I'm gonna head back to work now, so was that all?
Yeah, sorry, I kept you for so long.
Bye. Leo's mom, do you have a minute?
I do. What is it?
Sarah wouldn't stop crying when I went to pick her up after kindergarten today.
Oh?
When the teacher asked her why, apparently she told him Leo said,
You'll catch pox if you play with poor people.
What have you been telling him?
Oh, come on. Don't get so upset. I'm just teaching my son the rules of the world.
Rules?
Actually, it might be hard to understand for a low-income family.
Excuse me?
After all, I heard you hardly ever show up to our mother's meetings, where we all go out for lunch or tea.
Well, I'm working, so I can't do weekdays.
Which means, unlike me and the other wealthy moms who can afford to be stay-at-home housewives, you can't make ends meet unless both of you and your husband are out working.
I do my best to tag along when they invite me on my days off.
But it's true that your attendance rate is low. Basically, you use your job as a pretext not to go so you can keep the expenses down. You know, it's difficult for us to get along with people with such drastically lower standards of living because we have to be careful not to upset you. That's why I'm sorry, but please join a group of low-class moms instead.
Low-class moms? I mean, I don't really care, but I don't think you should be indoctrinating your children with your own prejudices.
Good grief, you just don't get it, do you? Associating with poor children is bad for my son's intellectual and cultural development. It's a parent's duty to keep a watchful eye and choose good friends for their child.
Oh, by the way, I heard you said the same things to Aya's mom because she's a single mother. You should stop teaching your children to discriminate against people because of perceived notions of superiority and inferiority based on how much money they make.
Yeah. If you're going to make comments like that, at the very least, wait until you've improved your standard of living to the point that your husband doesn't have to wear worn-out clothes. Sarah's mom! I see your husband's going to work in worn-out clothes as usual. Poor people are so tragic!
Good evening. Whether you insult me out of the blue is your business, but at least say hello first.
I have an example to share with you of what it's like to be a real celebrity. So I very kindly decided to message you.
Please, go ahead. Now that you mention it, you haven't messaged me in over a month. And you ignored me when I went to pick up my daughter from the kindergarten. Apparently, you were also whispering something about worn-out clothes when my husband went to pick her up after work.
Good grief, stop sulking. You should feel honored that a celebrity like me is even talking to you.
So, what do you want? I'll be getting ready for bed soon.
Oh, do forgive me. It just so happened that the CEO of the company my husband works for invited the two of us to go to his house on Sunday.
Okay, so what?
Apparently, it's a housewarming party. To celebrate the completion of the new two-family house for him to live in with his daughter and her husband. All of the company's top executives are invited. My husband's a factory manager, so of course he'll be going. And guess what? I heard his daughter and future successor, the managing director, is the same age as me. I can't see any harm in us getting along.
I see. Well, I hope it ends up being that easy for you.
Good grief, you're not jealous, are you? I suppose being from a family so poor the breadwinner has to wear clothes full of holes. You wouldn't possibly be able to appreciate the inner workings of the celebrity world. Lol. Looks like the gap in status between us got even bigger. I do hope you can forgive me. Oh, I just can't wait for Sunday! Sarah's mom? What are you doing in a place like this?
Oh, Leo's mom, hey.
Not hey! How on earth did you sneak in here? You can't do that! A daft groveler like you shouldn't be mingling with us in here. On top of that, I just saw you being all pally with the CEO, the owner of this house. What the hell are you scheming?
Scheming.
Oh no, you didn't! Are you having an affair? Aiming to marry into money, are we?
Oh, come on. There's no way I'd do that. Your thinking's gone way off the deep end.
Whatever. I don't give a damn about that reason. Hurry up and get out. It's embarrassing for me as a mother of the same kindergarten as you.
Even if you tell me to go,
Come on, make it snappy.
why do I have to get out of my own house?
What? Don't talk such nonsense. This house belongs to the CEO of the company my husband works at as a factory manager. I know you're probably tired from living in a life of poverty, but I think your delusions have gotten out of control.
I'm not delusional at all. This is my house.
Didn't I just tell you?
This is the two-family house me and my husband had built, so we could live with my dad.
What?
If you don't believe me, why don't you ask your husband, the factory manager? They see each other all the time at work, both being executives and all, so he'll tell you straight away.
Executives? Huh? Wait a second. What you're saying makes no sense. What about the one-room apartment you're living in?
The floor plan does include a one-room studio, but there's also a 5-room apartment attached. Me and my family are living in the 5-room apartment. It was only ever a place for us to stay temporarily while this place was being built, so we moved out last week.
Huh? What? But I never heard anything about that.
Yeah, because I never told you.
Why didn't you say something earlier? How awful of you to keep quiet this whole time!
You mean like, hey, my dad's the CEO. Guess what? My husband's the managing director? We're hardly familiar enough for me to tell you every detail of my private life.
What?
Besides, would you even have believed me if I told you? Wouldn't you just call me delusional without listening to a word I said no matter what I told you?
No, that was...
So, not correcting you was intentional. It's enough for me that my other mom friends who I get along with understand.
Huh? No way! That can't be! You can say what you like, But I know you've already been excluded from the other mom groups.
Even since the beginning. Me and those moms you got along with so well since Leo's first day at kindergarten. We're never friends at all.
Huh? But aren't the celebrity moms the boss mom group at kindergarten? How can there be moms you can get along with when you're ostracized from the boss mom group? Isn't that a little odd? Explain yourself!
You do know that boss mom is just a name they gave themselves, right?
What? It is?
Sure. They can come from rich households. But you could say they're a little bit quirky. You'll probably understand better if you just think of them as the group who doesn't fit in with the other moms.
You're kidding! That's how the group formed? But what about your husband? What about those worn-out clothes? Surely he had no need to dress like that if his wife was really as important as you claimed you are.
Like I said, they're made to look damaged. It's fashion. He wears them because he likes them.
What? Fashion?
My husband also works for a company as their fashion designer. They have a free dress code, so he's free to coordinate his outfits in line with his taste as much as he likes.
I don't understand.
By the way, the guy in the tailored jacket's speaking to my dad, the CEO, right now.
Oh, that handsome devil?
That's my husband.
No, that can't be. He's the man who wears the ripped clothes?
I told you, they're made to look that way. He is capable of discerning the time and place to wear certain things, so relax.
But...
Excuse me. My dad's asking me to give an address to the group. I have to go now. Bye. My dad called me over as I was messaging on my phone in the corner. As I gave my speech with mic in hand, I caught sight of Leo's mom quietly sneaking out. I did wonder if she'd give up, but at the beginning of next week, she did a spectacular about-face and was suddenly trying to make everyone think we were best friends. However, word of her attitude had already spread by then, so all the other moms hadn't had enough of her. She even got kicked out of the self-proclaimed boss mom group, and now she's completely alone. On the other hand, our kids are getting along just fine now. I'm so relieved about that. A few days later, her husband, the factory manager, apologized to me profusely. After seeing his wife's line chat history and wanting to keep a closer eye on her around Leo, he decided they all move in with his parents. I'm fairly certain it's not a two-family house, though. Good luck, Leo's mom.